Several questions have a statement along with the question. We always say, please ask a question, don't make a statement. So some of these questions I'm going to take the prerogative of getting rid of the statement and asking a question, and this is one of them. So if your question isn't asked the way you wrote it, that's why. The question is about Afghanistan and Iraq and our work there. So, how do you plan to restore and free both of these countries from U.S. occupation? And Ms. Cordi, you get to start.
Well, I think General Petraeus has gone a long way toward getting us out of Iraq. It is reasonable to assume that we will pull all of our combat support and combat troops out of Iraq within the next 2 years. It's going very well as wars go. A war is a deplorable thing, but you know, as wars go, we are making progress. It's slow, it's steady. If we stay the course, we'll come out with not a look-alike American democracy, but a country where a very rich tradition will be empowered. It'll be a federal system. In Afghanistan, we face a very different situation, and we should be very grateful to the men and women who serve, especially in our special forces, who are very skilled at building civilian structures, schools, local town councils, and other kinds of 20th century, not 21st century, but 20th century political and economic structures. They're helping the Afghan farmers learn how to farm something other than opium. And we should all be grateful to them for that. Afghanistan is, however, a NATO responsibility. And the point that my opponent makes about the comparative size of the militaries should also be looked at in terms of who is contributing to this NATO-led effort, in what proportion.
Thank you very much. Mr. Myers.
I want to first respond to a couple things Ms. Cordi said. She was talking about the wonderful things that the military and the Defense Department has done, the wonderful inventions that have come out of it. One thing the Defense Department hasn't funded and hasn't created is energy independence. And that's why we're in the state that we're in right now. That's why we have to keep spending billions and billions and billions of dollars on the military. She also made some very good points about what the military does that is humanitarian. Well, we have a humanitarian organization. It's called the Peace Corps. I served in it. We taught people how to farm, and I don't think anyone learned how to farm opium. But back to Iraq and Afghanistan. As a student, I wrote, as we were going to war in Iraq, I wrote that this was a mistake. And as a protester, I felt incredibly sad that my government wasn't listening to me. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to run 5 years later. But the idea of staying the course in these areas doesn't work. You know, how long did we need to stay the course in Vietnam? And other people in this room would know better because I wasn't born yet. But how long do we need to stay the course in these areas before we realize that we should not be there? We need to keep our hands out of the Middle East. And the only way to keep our hands out of the Middle East is to not have the interest in foreign oil.
Thank you.